Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Tinder, aka Tinder Biddles of Tinder TV, bringing you my first commentary on the channel. And it's going to be about the Black Ops 6 beta and my review and my thoughts, feedback, and just overall general feelings on the beta. I feel like I got to preface this video and this commentary by saying that I am a Call of Duty fanboy. I don't just sell out and say that it's great every year, but I do enjoy the games. I enjoy the games for what they are for the most part, even with the issues. My favorite multiplayers for Call of Duty of all time are World at War and Black Ops 2. Depending on the day, depends on which one I'll say is the number one for me then. But it's always one of those two. Runner-up would probably be the original Modern Warfare 3. But other than Modern Warfare 3, I'm generally a Treyarch fanboy. I thoroughly enjoy their games, even though I believe Black Ops Cold War was my least favorite and definitely my least played of all their games. The last 5 years haven't been the greatest when it comes to COD. If I were to rank the 17 COD games we have up until Modern Warfare 3, the last 5 would all be in the bottom 7 for me. So that just kind of tells you where I'm at with the game of lately. I've been playing it since the beginning, and I hope that I can continue playing it. So, with that being said, what did I think of the Black Ops 6 beta? To be honest with you, I enjoyed it. More than I thought I was going to. I actually, for the first time in years, found myself when I was at work or out and about, like, thinking to myself, man, can't wait to get home, put this C9 class together, and go play some Call of Duty. And I was feeling that way for the first time in many years. Now, overall, I think that, let's start with the maps. I have mixed feelings on the maps up to this point. On one hand, I thoroughly enjoyed the overall maps because they're beautiful. Skyline is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The visuals on here don't pop quite like Treyarch maps normally do with the color, but I think that it's so much more visually appealing than we've had the last couple of years with Modern Warfare 3, 2, and Vanguard. It's a breath of fresh air to see some color, some bright suns, more than just 50 shades of brown. But on the other hand, even though I liked some of the maps, some of them was mid, some of them were bad, I'm a little concerned at the fact that everything we played in the beta was small to medium size for 6v6, specifically. And that, I believe it was yesterday, Treyarch actually put out a tweet listing every map's name and that's going to be there at launch and how they classified it, and they were all medium or small. I believe it was actually split right down the middle between the 12 dedicated 6v6 maps being medium or small, and then we had the 4 strike maps, which are, I believe, for gunfight, face-off, but are also going to be included in 6v6. I just like to have map variety. Big maps are not bad. People think of big maps and they think of Stonehaven from Call of Duty Ghosts. They think of Piccadilly from Modern Warfare 2019. Those are big maps, but they're not bad because they were big maps. They are just bad maps. Take, for example, Afghan from the original Modern Warfare 2 that we have in the current Modern Warfare 3. That's a large map, but it's also a fantastic map and something that I would vote 10 out of 10 times over a map like Shipment, which is mindless chaos. And really, the only thing I even enjoy Shipment for is leveling up my weapons. So, large maps are something that I feel we do need. Treyarch said that most of their maps are similar in size to Raid or Summit from Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1, which, don't get me wrong, those are fantastic maps. And this might be something that I'm just thinking too much into, because I thoroughly enjoyed Scud. I know, unpopular opinion. I also thoroughly enjoyed Derelict. The other maps were, Skyline was, I think, a bit overrated and overplayed, but it was interesting, it's beautiful, it's got a cool concept, I like the vents, the interactive environments, so I do have faith in them. But one thing, segueing into the next thing from the maps, that can make the maps feel worse than they really are is the spawns. And I gotta say, the spawns are rough. They're very rough so far in the beta. I say so far and it's already over. You know what I mean. Weekend 1 was terrible. Weekend 2 was a little better on average. Weekend 1 was so bad that there was no map flow. I felt like in Team Deathmatch and Domination and Hardpoint, we were kind of just having free-for-all spawns where we were spawning all over the place. It really didn't make sense. Weekend 2 was better in Domination for sure. Domination felt like there was actually weighting towards your flags. It felt like you could actually somewhat take map control like you're supposed to in a game of Domination. Hardpoint, as the exclusive Ace had pointed out in one of his videos, Hardpoint has some very odd spawn logic, if any at all, where some people are spawning on the opposite side of the map where the team that is currently on the point is spawning next to it. Seems a little off here. Team Deathmatch seemed a little bit better in the second weekend as well, but it still felt like people were just spawning everywhere and anywhere. I mean, I've seen, it's almost like you have to just turn around almost any time that you kill someone because you need to check to make sure they didn't get a revenge spawn and come up behind you real quick. Definitely needs some work, but that is typical to all Call of Duty betas. Next piece of thought on the beta was the score streaks. Another thing that I have mixed feelings on. On one hand, I feel like they cost a little bit too much. A UAV is $675. What happened from how far we've come since COD 4 and World at War when a UAV was just $3? Granted, that was kill streaks then. These are score streaks now. And on the other side of the coin, it does seem like there's a fair amount of score getting given out in Black Ops 6. There's also several ways with perks and specialties to increase the amount of score you get or decrease the amount of score needed to get some of these streaks. So we'll have to see how the rest of the streaks are balanced and priced and versus their power when it comes to the full build of the game. But as it is right now, that is a slight concern. But with that being said, my goodness, if you haven't seen from the gameplay, the chopper gunner is crazy. This, I mean, don't burn me at the stake here, but this could be the strongest chopper gunner we've ever had. I don't know if it's one of the gameplays I'm using in this video, but one of the games that I played with the chopper gunner, I believe I got 3 chopper gunners, and I had got 67 kills with those 3 chopper gunners in that gameplay, on top of the gun kills I already had. It's crazy. It's crazy. On Scud is actually the game it was. I also got one on Babylon. Insane because of how wide open that map is. If there wasn't spawn protection, wow, I can't wait to see what some of the other streaks are like. I just hope that there's a lot of them and that they are powerful and worth going for and fun to use. Next, I do want to touch on some other things that I have mixed emotions on. Sleeper Agent. On one hand, using it, I had a lot of fun using Sleeper Agent. If you don't know, Sleeper Agent is a field upgrade that charges very slowly, but once you do get it earned and you use it, you turn into the enemy. So to the enemy team, you look like your name tag shows up blue and you look like you're friendly to them. You can also hear their chat if they are in game chat. Lasts for about 30 seconds, and every time you eliminate somebody while using it, you get another 3 seconds added on to that total. This is powerful. This is overpowered. It's very troll-like, and admittedly I had fun using it, but at the end of the day, I don't think this is something that has a place in COD. It throws off the gameplay loop, the combat flow. I've heard some suggestions that it should be made a streak, and I would definitely be more for that, or even for some kind of compromise, maybe a nerf to the timer, bring it down to like 15 seconds, 20 seconds. But as it stands right now, I'm very questionable and I just think it's going to be more of an annoyance. Another troll kind of slash annoyance is the new body shield mechanic. This, on the other hand, I think is something that if it annoys you, which it's going to annoy all of us whenever we get hit with it, just gotta deal with it, because you gotta admit it's fun. And the clips the community is going to come up with this year with this body shield mechanic, I cannot wait to see them. I think it's going to be a great year for content. I think there's going to be a lot of hilarity and more positive vibes in that sense, which I'm all for. Also, some smaller things, to me at least, the gunsmith. It's more simplified. There's less attachments. There's less cons on the attachments, while at the same time providing plenty of options and bringing back some old friends that help change things up when it comes to the attachments. Something other than just the, oh, get more damage range, or oh, get less recoil, or oh, get a better aim down sight time. Rapid fire. The CHF barrel, which allowed you to get more headshot damage, kind of like high caliber back in the day. I think that's great. It allows more trade-offs and more options on your classes. The perks, I thoroughly enjoyed going back to a traditional style of Treyarch system. I do wish we could just find a way to go back to the pick 10, but I'll take this. The specialties were cool. I think that the recon one is a little bit overpowered. Seeing people through walls for that duration and in the manner in which you do just for dying, it's like having death streaks back from the original Modern Warfare trilogy again. And that's something that I don't think any of us want to see. You know, F you last stand. But I also believe that the guns themselves felt really good. They seemed like they had a lot of personality. My personal favorite weapon to use was the XM4. I also liked the C9 was probably my runner-up. I was a little disappointed in the Tonto. Maybe I just didn't give it enough love. Never got to try it with rapid fire, nothing on it since it came so late. But, because I'm typically somebody like slower shooting, harder hitting SMGs and ARs in COD. I am an assault rifle player for the most part. I like to hold down lanes and get picks, but I do like to get a little saucy once in a while, so I like to have the hybrid role. And the Tonto wasn't just what I was hoping it was for. It wasn't a bad gun. Maybe I just had too high of expectations for it. But overall, I thought that the weapon bounce was actually in the second weekend, once the Jackal got nerfed, I actually thought that the weapon balance was quite solid. The Jackal was still viable. The Tonto is viable, and I've seen a lot of people using it and thoroughly enjoying it, so it's probably just user error on my part. The C9, in my opinion, probably for the community as a whole, was the best gun. The XM4 was great. The SWAT is extremely underrated. Even more underrated was the XMG LMG. Fantastic. It might even be in this gameplay in the background. I used multiple gameplays. I can't remember which ones I picked. I believe that this one is a nuke choke for me, but a nuke for my friend. A random Kobe grenade came in off spawn from across the map and landed right at my feet and took me off of a nuke. I ended 57-1. Should have had it, because this was an absolute alien lobby. I don't know what happened. At the end of the game, we were questioning if these people were even real. But at least my buddy got his first nuke. I'm a little jealous, but I know we'll get one, so I'm happy for him. But at the end of the day, I thought that the XMG, I picked that up. I believe in this gameplay, and as soon as I felt how it melted, I was like, whoa. And I never used it again. I wish I would have. I'm so disappointed in myself. But when the full game comes out, best believe, that's going to be one of the first things I use. Also enjoyed the slight improvements to the UI. It feels like a Black Ops game. Something we haven't had the last few years was personality in our games. We've definitely got personality in this one. It feels like a finished product. It feels like a Treyarch game. I like the fact that we have the polish, upgrades to the kill feed, medals, things that we might not have seen in the beta but we know are coming, like theater mode, classic prestige, 100%er, dark ops. We know there's going to be a shit ton more streaks, equipment, weapons. We know that there's going to be operator mod inspired aftermarket parts and attachments for the weapons from Black Ops 4. I think that this is going to be a great year. The beta overall wasn't all great though. There was a lot of connection issues, hitches, stutters, some bugs. I didn't really receive too many crashes. I think I had one crash in my entire gameplay time. I played about a day and a half worth of in-game time. And overall, I had a good experience. It's a little different whenever you play in high skill lobbies, as I'm like a 2.5 plus KD player. I have friends that are of all skill levels, anywhere from a point 0.5 to a 3 KD. I play with them all. Most people fall somewhere more like in the 1 to 1.3 range. So when I'm playing with a party, it's beautiful. You get such a mixture of people and lobbies and play styles. But as usual, gotta say about the negative, and that is the skill-based matchmaking and disbanding lobbies. I noticed, and I think that what's going to end up happening is that when I played by myself or with my other high-skilled friends, this is a completely different game than in the other lobbies. These lobbies feel completely different to one another, as if you are playing a completely different game. And I'm worried that as the year progresses and people learn the game, they master the game, and of course exploit the game, that it's just going to become annoying and it's going to become a problem, especially for a player like me who, yes, I do like to sweat. I like to go drop nukes, especially for content, for fun. I like to get feeds and streaks. But I also am the type of guy that likes to do casual things. I like to go do challenges. I like to just go put on maybe a goofy class and go have some fun. I like to go into different game modes and try them whenever they're brought in the seasons with my friends. And I like to play with my friends for the most part, so whatever they want to play, I'm probably going to try it as well. So I'm not necessarily a try-hard, so I would like things to be a little bit more casual. But we know skill-based matchmaking isn't going anywhere. I'm not going to two-box, I'm not going to VPN, I'm just going to play the game and enjoy it for what it is. So at the end of the day, I think that Black Ops 6 is going to be a really good game. The beta is never what the full game is. It could be horrible when it comes out. It could be the best ever when it comes out. Doubtfully. But we'll just have to wait and see. The beta was just a test run, a taste that I enjoyed. Though spawns, connections, and some of the animations, how they look in the third person, really all need some work. I hope there's some fantastic maps coming. Otherwise, I can't wait to play on October 25th. Since my boy gets a nuke and calls it in here in the end, I'm just gonna leave the rest of the gameplay with you to hear, as that is the end of my beta. So you guys can see the nuke and take it in and get ready to get your own nuke in Black Ops 6. This is Tinder. Have a blessed night.
Get a UAV on grid. Hostiles have the hard point. Sending a subject. Hard point located.
Initializing UAV mission.
UAV established overhead.
Hardpoint is active.
Oi! Too fucking close!
UAV flight time 50% on my mark. Mark.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Tackle, get a hellstorm on my grid. Tackle, commence watchdog helo mission.
Turning to tank.
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint active. Hardpoint locked down.
Kill.
Waiting your orders.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.